Hello, my name's Lottie, and in this video I'm going to show you Accurx Patient Triage. This feature empowers patients by giving them more choice and control to access care when they need it, rather than booking them in for routine appointments. It also gives your service the ability to quickly assess patient queries based on clinical need and signpost patients to appropriate services. This is particularly helpful when managing PIFU queries or to support nurse, help, or advice lines that are often overwhelmed with calls from patients. In one IBD service where we've implemented this, it is estimated that 45 A&E admissions are avoided per week because the team are able to triage and respond to patient queries more quickly. Let me show you how it works. A patient may be on PIFU or under the care of your service and wants to get in touch with you to ask a question. When using our digital PIFU or patient-initiated contact feature, the patient must access the relevant digital form associated with your service. A patient can access a link to this form if you have sent the link by text message, put a QR code on their clinic letter, or put the link on your website, for example. In this example, the patient has been put on PIFU and sent the link by SMS. This is an example of the patient triage form. It will specify your team, service, or organization's name at the top left-hand corner. We also indicate to the patient how long it will take for the service to read their message, but this can be customized. The form gives the patient three options: to submit a medical issue, an admin query, or to view NHS online guidance. We can also customize these options to suit your service's needs. For example, you may want to add branching based on specific patient pathways. Let's follow the example of submitting an admin query. Firstly, patients are warned to not use this form in an emergency because their requests will not be seen immediately. It instructs them to call 999 if they are experiencing any of these symptoms. Next, the patient has a free text box to write their question. This is useful for asking questions about clinic letters, test results, or an appointment, for an example. Now let's use the example of submitting a medical issue. The patient gets the same emergency warning and they can proceed to give details about their medical issue. They must describe the problem first. They can attach a photo if needed. They then have to say a bit about how long the problem has gone on for, whether they've tried anything to help, how they'd like you to help, and the best times to contact them. This form can be completed by the patient or on behalf of the patient. This is useful for patients who are unable to complete the form themselves, or if another healthcare professional is referring the patient to your service with a particular issue. Next, the patient must add their personal details and verify their phone number. Finally, they are reminded of timelines for reviewing their request and signposted to A&E or 999 if they experience any urgent symptoms. Next, I'm going to show you the important part, how this request is received by your service. You'll get an email notifying you of the submission, which will appear in the unassigned folder of the Accurx inbox. Requests will be automatically triaged between admin and medical. This is helpful because you can have someone dedicated to reviewing all admin requests and someone else dedicated to reviewing and responding to the medical ones. Request is automatically matched to the patient's details on the personal demographics service of the NHS Spine. Here you can see what the patient has submitted to you. You can get a copy of this request and save it to the patient's record. Instead of booking patients in for appointments by default, you can review the request and triage it and decide what are their next best steps in terms of clinical need. In this example, the query can be resolved by SMS, so I can reply to the patient directly, saving on appointments. I have a free text box to write my message, but can also use a template or questionnaire. I can attach documents and/or ask the patient to respond to my SMS if necessary. That's it, the message is sent. Make sure to mark the conversation as done once you've finished with it. The message will instantly be received by the patient from NHS No Reply. To access the attachment, patients must verify their identity by entering their date of birth. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact our support team, who will get back to you within 5 minutes.